Whether you're buying or selling your home, get the benefit of expertise.
Hey, well, compliments to the show. You're really hitting on the subjects and you're telling the truth. I appreciate you.
Meet the team at dangemus.com. And now, filling in for Dan Gemus, your host, Joyce Blackmere.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm Joyce Blackmere, Director of Sales with the Dan Gemus team, and I have Aaron Blackmere, Sales Rep with the team in studio. How are you, Aaron?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Just great.
Perfect.
Yes.
I love that answer. Maybe before we get to Christian, we should make a quick mention of the open house that Heather's hosting.
Yes, Heather is at 6802 6th Concession North in Amherstburg. She was there at 12, so you better hurry up and get there. She's waiting for you. Get there and check this place out. It's beautiful. She's there until 2 o'clock today, and that is 6802 6th Concession North in Amherstburg.
Excellent. Excellent. It's a large acreage.
34 acres with 29 workable.
Reasonably large acreage.
Yeah. It's a great property. If you like the country life, get out there.
Yeah, perfect. Great. Thank you for that. And if you have more questions about that property or any of our other listings or just information in general that you're looking for about real estate, you can check us out online at dangemus.com. We have Christian Janisse waiting patiently on the line
Lawyer
for us.
extraordinaire.
Hello, Christian. How are you?
Hey, how's it going? We got the dream team.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Blackmere Power Hour.
Yeah.
So, Christian, what do you have for us today?
So it was a topic that we've never covered, and it comes up a decent amount now. It's mobile or modular homes. And I just wanted to kind of touch on how they differ. No bad news. I feel like I'm always bringing like doom and gloom. This is more just informative or just for informational purposes so people can understand how they might be different than if you actually own the land or a regular house that's in the land registry. So for mobile homes, as you've both probably seen, they differ because the units or the modular home is on a large parcel of land that's usually rented. So that comes with a different set of things that you need to consider. So the first is you don't own the land, you're renting it. Right. So you usually have to get park approval before you can even move in or have a firm agreement. So if you are putting in an offer on a mobile home, you do want to make sure that you get park approval beforehand. That way you're not locked into something that you can't fulfill or, you don't run into any issues afterwards. Right. Usually you can just Google who the park manager is or the existing owner will know. The second thing is because you're renting the land, you actually have to, so you're going to pay rent on a monthly basis, but you want to check what's included. It's similar to a condo where you're paying common fees, and the common fees can differ between different condominiums. Just like parks, they can differ. Some include water and utilities, some don't. So you can't just look at the cost at face value and think, oh, that's higher than this one, like one from park to park. You do want to check and see what's included just so that you have some knowledge and you can budget accordingly. Mm-hmm. And then the last thing is that in some cases, the parks don't allow financing. So if you're purchasing a property unconditional, you may be shocked to find out afterwards if you're trying to get financing through the bank that some parks won't allow it. So the park managers just won't allow it at all. So although the bank will finance it, the park won't allow you to do so. And the reason for that is because they don't want the bank to have any type of involvement with their land. They don't want anybody to be able to have control over the units or any type of ability to put any type of encumbrance on the land, like a notice of power of sale or something like that. It's not a power of sale. It's different because it's under a different set of acts. But, yeah.
That's interesting because I've heard many times that a lot of lenders aren't able to finance them. So is that the reason that they can't finance them, or is that just a separate set of rules altogether?
Yeah, it's a separate set of rules because the way that a mobile home would work, and it's different than a house where you own the land, is it's not governed by the Land Registry Act. So there's no land registry for that. It's governed by the Personal Property Security Act. So essentially, the loan that you would get from the bank is the same as an auto loan. So they're a little more difficult to enforce. They have other challenges if you're trying to enforce them, and that's why some banks or most banks try to stay away from them. I know TD will do them. I know RBC will do them, and there are some alternative lenders, but it is more challenging. So if you do put an offer in, you should make it conditional on financing or have your financing approved beforehand, just so that you know.
Yeah, that's great. I was unaware or at least I'd never encountered a situation where a park didn't allow the financing on their side. So that's a really great tip. Thanks for teaching me something today.
Is the Countryside Village down by the airport. It's right across from the hotels. I forget the street name, but that one I know doesn't allow financing. So if you buy one of those units, you have to pay cash.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah, that's great information. Thank you.
Yeah, so there's just a different set of due diligence, different set of considerations before you go in and just making sure that you have all your bases covered. Because some people do put offers in unconditional only to find out either the bank won't finance it, the park won't approve it, or the park fees are much higher than they anticipated. So it's similar to a condo, but not exactly the same.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, interesting. Are there any other clauses that you would recommend that buyers include in their offers when they're offering on mobile homes that are on leased land?
No, it's the same in that regard. It's the same as a regular house. You want to make sure that the chattels and fixtures are working, and chattels and fixtures still exist, and that all of that is the same. The park rent, you would be similar to a condominium where you would want to make sure that that's paid and up to date, but you would get approval. It's the same as like property taxes. We do a search or we write a letter to the park manager, and if there are any arrears, we usually make sure that it's paid out of the sale proceeds. So before going in, the offer is the same. You want to do the inspection. You want to make sure that everything's working properly. Nothing's leased, or at least if it is leased, like a hot water tank, then that you're assuming the contractor, you're aware of that. All of that's the same.
Interesting. Okay.
I do have a quick question. I don't know if you can answer this quickly or not, Christian. Have you ever experienced where the leased land lease is expiring?
No, that's interesting because they're usually very long.
Yes.
Like insanely long leases that are just automatically renewed.
Yeah.
Have you ran into that?
No, I've always asked because I've been in the business for 20 plus years and I have never experienced that. And I was just wondering what happens with that situation. So I thought if you had come into that, I didn't know if you could shed any light on that.
The owners of the land is usually there used to be private owners. It seems to be more corporate now, like everything, where they found out, wow, there's money to be made here. So they'll buy up all the land and they'll lease it. They're basically the same person. So the leases are never usually an issue.
Right.
But what I have seen is that in some cases they've converted the leased land into condominiums. So it doesn't look like a condominium, like a high rise that you would typically associate with a condominium.
Right.
And it looks like it's a mobile home, but it actually is a condominium and you in turn own the land.
Right.
You would know that, though, if you looked it up on Geo. So if it shows up on Geo, then that means that there's an actual parcel of land tied to that piece of property. If nothing pops up, then you know it's a modular home.
Right.
Excellent.
Fair enough.
Perfect. Well, Christian, thanks for those tips.
Yes, thank you.
If people want to reach you, they're buying or selling a home or looking maybe to have a will done, how can they reach you?
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. They can call us at 519-997-3775 or email us at hello@simplyclose.ca.
Perfect. And Christian, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're giving away a gift card for the Richmond Popcorn Company. Choose a number between 1 and 10.
7.
7. Caller number 7 will win a gift card for the Richmond Popcorn Company. 519-792-2559. 519-792-CKLW. Caller number 7 gets a gift card for the Richmond Popcorn Company. Lots more to come right here on the Dan Gemus Real Estate Show.